Welcome back to Under Oath. You know what?
What, brother?
It's time to come clean.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
We always talk about the good stuff.
Mhm.
The good stuff. Oh, comedy's so great. We can't
Oh,
wait.
here
The
we go.
camaraderie, all this thing. But you know what? There is a crappy part of comedy that we never talk about, even to each other a lot. Only if we want to laugh at ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But now, the time of suffering.
Okay.
Bad things that happen by
Okay.
being a comedian.
Okay.
Bad choices, bad moments, bad stuff. Bad.
Okay. I got two big ones. I did a show a while ago. We'll say this. I won't say when, but here's where I learned as a comedian: you got to know your audience demographic. You got to know the people that you are performing to.
Yeah.
Now, I had been doing comedy, and I have been doing comedy for a very long time. I'm pretty good at it, people say. I'm
Yeah,
proficient,
yeah.
if you will. So James goes up there with a lot of confidence. First red flag.
Baller.
First red flag. When you go on a stage and you don't have that little tingle, that little don't screw this up, that little you know you got to be funny, James. People are counting on you.
I got this.
Yeah, and I went up there, I got this. First red flag.
Boom.
Get on stage. I tell my first joke, which is usually one of your better ones, because you get their attention, you reel
Bring
them
'em
in,
in, reel
you're
'em in.
fishing them. Hit them with that first one, and I wait for the applause with like, ha ha!
Tumbleweed.
None came.
Tumbleweed blew
Silence. Crickets. Yeah. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, bro. And I'm like, well, maybe they're just not hearing me, right?
by. I think they heard that joke. I don't think they heard that joke.
Let me get louder and let me tell my next one. Told that one.
I got more.
Nothing. Told the next one.
Boom.
Nothing. Then I heard a small rustling in the audience. You know how you think you hear people
Yeah.
talking in the background? It was different. It was guttural. It was hate-filled, the noise. And the noise started to get louder and louder. Then
And you heard the jar sound. Bum, bum.
3,000 people at Bob Cart Theater here in Orlando erupted in boos. But let me explain.
Oof.
There's a boo that comes from people that you'll hear and you're like,
Guttural.
They
It's a
don't
guttural
They
boo.
don't like you. But a boo from 3,000 of my people sounds hateful.
Oh.
It comes from a place of hatred, just pure evil, just boo with an attitude.
Where's the hook?
Bro?
Waiting for the hook.
But let me explain what I was doing. I was doing a award show. Bob Carr, couldn't wait to do it. DC Curry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, was the headliner.
There you
and
go.
I was working with DC Curry. I was so
I can't wait. I'm going to go
happy.
on tour with DC.
Yes.
I'm going to be so good. I'm
gonna
touring
be
with
so
him.
good. He's gonna be like, James, where have you been?
You need to go with me everywhere we go.
Yes.
Boo.
And the award show was called the Unity Awards. And let me tell you how ironic
They didn't
that
feel
is.
they were unified in
yes.
their hate for you.
I did exactly what the name of that show was. I unified 3,000 people to come together and boo my black ass off that stage. But let me tell you something though, a caveat. Here's what one of the categories of this award show, the Unity Awards, was. To give you guys an idea what I'm talking about. The award, one of them was Best Orlando Bail Bondsman.
Wow. So
yeah.
So these were criminals.
No.
How were they were people who worked in government.
Yes, and those were the kind of categories
How would be the
had.
best bail bondsman? How do you get that job? You know what? I'll tell you what. Shifty Tony over here got a lot of people out.
Bro.
And you know what? Most of them hauled ass.
I will tell you, I learned a lot from that experience. I never took a gig for granted. I always found out about the actual show that I was doing as far as, can you tell me anything have you guys done in the past? What kind of audience do you get? What is there any language restrictions or what type of comedy? I learned so much. Like that could have broke me. Like I
You
could have
got booed
stopped.
by the government.
I did.
You
bro.
got reversed.
I did, bro.
Yeah.
They
protested you.
They did. They marched out too.
Oh,
like
man. How many people were there?
3,000.
3,000.
3,000. I believe it was 3,000.
That's like 3K.
Yeah, bro. A boo from every person. Oh man, it's bad. The worst thing, all the acts were backstage hanging out. And I had to walk
the walk of shame
across the theater, the backstage, with all the people just looking at me like I had let them down. Like I had just.
Who was that Simpson who got caught lip syncing and she had to do that hoedown dance?
Yeah. Bro, it was bad. But I will tell you this. One of the best experiences long-term removed from it. Let me tell you why. It forced me to reevaluate my actual act, and it made me understand that I never can stop growing as a comedian. I need to always keep going. I need to always keep writing. I can never become complacent. So I became a better comic because I fell down, but I had the wherewithal to get back up. So that was much needed. The next year, I did a show around the same time. It was a year apart, same demographic of audience, and I ended up getting a standing ovation. So I thank God every day in my career for that night I got booed at Bob Carr. Shout out to the Unity Awards. And DC Curry, give me another shot, give me another chance. It wasn't my fault, man.
Yeah. DC Curry's like going, yeah, I remember.
It wasn't my fault, bro.
Dude, I want you to know something. I
Mhm.
want to. I
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
But you know what? You haunt me, kid.
Yeah.
You inspire me. If you like improve, I'm screwed. Because I think of you as, oh, I'm never going to do that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that.
There
but
you go.
Yeah, bro. If any comedians listening, you're gonna fall down. You are going to fail. It's going to happen. Get back up. Get back up. You'll thank yourself that you did. Get back
I
up.
always think I fail. I think that's the problem with a certain level of comedian, and that's why I think there's a lot of mental health issue in what we do. Is
all over the place.
Is
with
that
us.
when I walk out, and this is one of the things, and
Mhm.
I could tell the story, but I'm not. When I'm done,
Mhm.
I need probably about 20 to 30 minutes to get my head back
To decompress.
and to go, okay, was it good?
Mm-hmm.
Because for some reason, I don't hear the audience when I'm out there.
You zone out.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Ah.
I float over the audience, and sometimes I move and go back based on what they do, but I keep moving. I feel like I'm floating above them, kind of like the way I walk through Halloween Horrors, where, a lot of stuff's going on.
There's so much to take in that you can't even focus
Yeah.
on one thing.
And I'm trying to go, okay, did I get this right? Am I standing right? Am I doing this right? Am I moving forward? Everything's in slow motion for me.
Got you.
And I'm not at the same pace as everyone else. It feels like the line went slower. The thing went slow. So I'm going, am I pacing right? Am I doing this right? And I did a show, and it was painful because you came and
I
Ken
remember
Miller
this
came.
night. I remember this night.
And I will never do one of these again where there are 10 people
Yeah.
and most of them are amateurs. Because even if you're the best of all of them, the audience has become so jaded because it hasn't been funny that by the time they get to you, they might not have the energy to appreciate it. Now, the person who went on before the person who went did a suicide bit
He did.
and basically just admitted he was suicidal, and no joke.
Yeah.
And we were all going, what the hell was that?
It wasn't even a joke. It was a cry for help.
It was
Yeah.
therapy for him. I know it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell was that? And everyone's fidgeting, they're uncomfortable. And it's not like, oh, that was funny, that was edgy. No, it
Nah,
wasn't anything.
It wasn't.
And then a young lady comes on after her who I guess just decided she was going to say, I'm the most attractive person in the room. And it was very weird. And people were hating her. And I go on, and the front table has had enough. They walk out. So
Like 8 of them.
8-pack walks out. Now realize I'm already probably 8-10 feet from the closest person. Now I'm 20 feet
That's right.
away from the closest
go.
person. And I'm testing out some new stuff. I get 2 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Now this place is also a sports bar.
Yeah, it is.
Every TV
Is on.
turns on
Yeah.
with sound.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are playing. And the volume is louder than what I can do. And there's a guy sitting in the DJ booth with his hands up in the air looking at me. I'm going, if you don't know how to fix it, who does?
Yeah.
And I'm standing there for it felt like forever, but it was probably about 10 minutes.
That's a long time.
And by the time they turned it off and everything else like that, I was halfway through my set. Where was I in my set? And I tried to pick it up, and I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk off, and I had some friends there, and I didn't even want to look them in the face.
No.
I walked directly to the table it was Ken and James. And Ken looked at me and goes, too wordy.
Too wordy.
Too wordy.
I remember they did say that.
Too wordy.
Yeah.
And I go, okay. And you know what? He was right. He was right.
So we both agreed. Those bad situations
Failure.
in comedy.
What I should have done
Mm-hmm.
is hop my ass off the stage and worked every table individually until they could fix the sound. I should have made them all feel like the show
You learned.
was coming to
learned.
them.
Yes.
And I wouldn't even thought of that. But when I fail, I go to Waffle House.
Oh God, it's the best place.
So
to
I head
fail.
over, get the All-Star Special, and I'm sitting there going, okay, what could I have done? What could I have done? Because in comedy, hopefully, if you're a good comic, and I don't say I'm a good one,
Mm.
but I know there's a good tactic. And the good tactic is this: keep track of your failures and know when you failed. Some people think they were just hysterical and they were horrible. And they don't have the ability to go, I was terrible tonight, because then their egos wouldn't allow them to get on stage again. It's
Mhm.
kind of like a receiver, a defensive back who, basically gets burned. He goes, I didn't get burned.
Mm.
But in comedy, you have to know you got burned and you have to learn from it.